there, historic border bridges from the Institute of Civil Engineers, and it tells us about some of the bridges in Berwickshire and the very north of England. So I'll show you where we are. We're looking at this one here, the Royal Border Bridge, completed in 1850, and it gives you all of the details about it, how long it is, how high it is, 28 arches, opened by Queen Victoria, etc. So you can get a screenshot of all of that, and that tells you about, let's get your portrait again. Hello Deborah. Stop it flapping about a little bit. You can see all the details there, like that. And if we go further on, we have, I will show you over the other side there, the Royal Tweed Bridge. That is the one in the middle. We've got 3 bridges there. You can see the concrete bridge in the middle with the kind of the lattice work there. So that's the Royal Tweed Bridge there, 1925 to 1928, opened by the Prince of Wales, 430 metres long, etc, etc. So we'll walk over there and have a look at them. We'll walk under the Royal Border Bridge and the Royal Tweed Bridge, and the other one is the old bridge. Where is that one? Bear with me. Berwick Old Bridge, there it is. The oldest bridge is the farthest away one, and that was built, let's go portrait again, that was built 1611 to 1634 by James the 6th and 1st. So again, you can get a screenshot of all the information there. And it's the 6th bridge on the site. You see there it says the original bridge was destroyed by flooding in 1199. Oh, and there goes a train. This is the East Coast Main Line that this bridge is part of, and obviously it's still in use despite it being 150 years old plus. 167 years old since it was opened. And that is the Edinburgh to London or Aberdeen to London Virgin train going over there. So let's go. Let's have a quick look at the castle first. So I'll put the leaflet away back in my bag. There we go. And we'll have a quick look at the castle, because I know you all like castles. And this castle was built, or a castle, yeah, the wall there was built by the Scots in the 1200s, Ulla Basil. The wall was built by the Scots in the 1200s, and the castle was built in the 1600s, but then it was destroyed to make way for the bridge. So it's not like most castles that I show you. If it's been ruined, it's probably been destroyed by Henry VIII or Oliver Cromwell or somebody, but this was deliberately dismantled, you could say, to make way for the bridge. And I know, because I've been here before, that the signal isn't particularly good, especially if you go down underneath, down there. So we shan't go down there, but you can see the remains of the castle anyway. This looks like a fireplace. That looks like a flue up there. So it could be the kitchen, maybe, here. Not sure. Usually you'd have a bedroom, a set of bedrooms upstairs. So it could be kitchens at that level. Careful. Right, so you can get a screenshot at some point. And as we go further around, we'll go underneath the bridge and we'll show you the old bridge and the 1920s bridge as well. So that's the 1850 bridge, the railway bridge from the castle. Right, so let's carefully go down and out the castle, and we'll have a walk under the bridges. If I can do it without breaking my ankles. Yes, right. So there you go, that's underneath. Down there you can walk along the path along the River Tweed. So I've shown you the Tweed many times, and this is the end of the Tweed. This is where it meets the sea, the North Sea. Beautiful Tweed. Progressing there. So this, Berwick, the town where I'm in, yeah, unfortunately. Right where the castle was. Yeah, Berwick, where I am, it used to be changing hands between Scotland and England constantly. Whenever there was a war, whenever one country got invaded, Berwick would swap over between Scotland and England. It changed hands, I think, 13 or 14 times over the years. Hello, welcome. Oh, there goes another train, I think. It's the sound of a train going over. And you can see there how it's curved at the end. So magnificent engineering. As it says here, when it was built, work started in 1847. Its length and height made it larger than any bridge built before. And this is the final piece in the jigsaw on the railway between Edinburgh and London. Yeah, a magnificent feat of engineering. Over 150 years old and still going very, very strongly. Hello, Margot. Privet, welcome. So that's the 1850 bridge, and I will stop again in a second and turn around so I can get a good shot of it. You can see the other bridges over there as well. So let's stop here. And again, you can get a screenshot there of the Stevenson Bridge. Only took 3 years to build. When you compare that to the farthest bridge there, which took 23 years to build, I think it was, but we'll get to that in a while. So like I say, this is the Tweed that we're walking along at the moment, and it flows out to the North Sea past the bridges. And I've shown you the Tweed many times, of course, and this is the end of the 97 miles of it. I haven't shown you all 97 miles, but shown you a few. You can see that the bridge is electrified, so that electric trains can go over it. And there's a nice little garden up there, a little path, by the way. Yeah, so we can look through the bridge like that, and again, you can get screenshots, and if you take a screenshot, you can send it to me, tweet it at me, A9630, and I'll retweet it for you. It's a beautiful sunny day, isn't it? I'm glad I came here. It's been raining a wee bit, but it's not too bad now. So that's the middle bridge in terms of age, that one over there. But I want you to compare the architecture, the civil engineering of that, how impressive that is, and compare it as we go along here to the middle bridge, which is the newest in terms of age, and see the difference. And the middle bridge, the 1920s bridge, that had the longest concrete arch in Britain. It's made of reinforced concrete, whereas that one is of course made of stone, masonry and brickwork under the arches. And that one is 70 years older than the middle bridge that we're getting to. And you can see the difference in the design. The middle bridge is shorter, it's lower, it looks much lighter in a way, but it's got a sort of an Art Deco feel to it, in my opinion. If you compare it to the heavy engineering, I think, of that one. And we'll see which you think is the most beautiful of the three as we go underneath the 1920s bridge. Looks Roman. Well, it's called a viaduct, a Roman word. Oh, there's a butterfly going past. Yeah, I'll try to do that, Marco. Yes, it does look Roman, certainly. It's essentially the same principles that the Romans used. I don't think, as far as I know, that the Romans put curves into their viaducts and aqueducts. I'm not sure. Don't like Romans. Well, they did a lot for us, certainly. Can't take that away from them. Again, let me stop so you can get a screenshot like that, looking upstream in the Tweed. You can see the reflections on the water looking quite beautiful, I think. Yes, they made roads. They made roads, they made aqueducts, education, medicine, yes. Absolutely. Right, so we're getting to the middle bridge, and you can compare, as I say, compare the design of it, the architecture, the style, not just the one with the 3 arches is prettier. The middle one that we're coming to, the concrete one, this bridge became possible with the advent of reinforced concrete. So it's concrete with iron or steel inside of it to make it stronger. And the 3 arches are not equal lengths, but the longest one, as I said before, was the longest concrete arch in Britain at the time. I can see a boat coming. Let me zoom in. There, can you see the boat? Don't know if it's going to go under the 3 bridges. It may do. Berwick is still a working port. There's still boats coming in and out of Berwick, but it used to be the biggest port in Scotland, the richest town as well, because it was the closest port to continental Europe. So all of the trade that Scotland did in the 1200s, 1300s onwards was done through Berwick when it was Scottish. Why 3 bridges so close together? 3 different eras and 2 different purposes. Well, 3 different purposes, I suppose. You've got the railway bridge over there. Pub on the left. Is there a pub on my left? There might be, well, there's big pubs all over. So railway bridge over there, Edinburgh to London. Then you've got a road bridge in the 1920s. And then behind that you've got a much older bridge which was built by James VI. I've talked many times about how James became the King of England as well as Scotland. And on his way from Edinburgh down to London to be crowned as the King of England, he had to come through Berwick, and he had to go over the old bridge, the 5th bridge that we know about. And it was a rickety old wooden bridge at the time, so he had that bridge, the further one, built for horses and carts basically. So the middle one that we're coming to is obviously for cars, and all 3 are still in use, by the way. You've seen the train going over, and you can just about see, you can't quite see cars going over this bridge, but notice the design of this, especially as we get right under it. You can look along the bridge and see how comparatively light looking it is. And there, like that. You can see the pillars, you can see the arches, the reinforced concrete. Quite amazing. So it's almost hollow, you might say, certainly compared to the other ones. There you go, you can see right the way through like that. It is just the arches and supports, and then the roadway on top. So again, if you take screenshots, send them to me. So although it's concrete, people think of concrete structures as being very brutal and hard and inelegant, but I think this one is quite elegant the way that it's built. As I said, it's almost like it's hollow. Berwick's an alright place. Berwick's quite nice. And then we've got the old bridge. Yeah, it looks wooden. Yeah, it almost does. It could be wooden supports. But this here was the first bridge over the Tweed which wasn't made of wood. And as I was saying, it was built in the early 1600s. So it's a 400-year-old bridge, and it's still in constant use. You like the old one? Let's stop here so we can get a good view of it. Yeah. So the bridges that this one replaced, first one was washed away. First one that we know about was washed away in 1199. Then the one after that was destroyed by the English, and then a couple more were washed away by floods, wooden ones of course, and then the last wooden one was about 200 years old when James, on his way to London, decided that he wanted a better bridge to connect England and Scotland. Symbolically, I suspect, he wanted a nice symbolic link between England and Scotland, so he wanted a nice new masonry bridge. You want to run on it? You can. It's about 1,000 feet long, a little bit over 1,000 feet, or 300 meters, and you can, think of that super hard, you can run across it, or you can walk across it, if you wish to. So there's a limit, 7.5 ton limit. Yes, nice symbolism indeed. But you can run across it, or you can drive across it. So, as we go over here, remember, bear in mind that we're walking over a 400-year-old bridge. Troubled water. Does that look troubled to you, that water? It looks alright, I think. Looks quite calm and serene. Keep to the right, everybody. And don't drive too quickly either. There's some swans over there. I promised you swans the other day when I was at the loch. But we definitely got swans over there. So, there we go. 400-year-old cement. Well, it's been repaired. Don't know if it's 400-year-old cement, but the bridge primarily is 400 years old. Yeah. So we're relying on 400-year-old stones and 400-year-old technology to keep us out of the Tweed, because I don't fancy going for a dip today. This will be the Scottish Customs post. It was probably a little bit north of here. Yeah. After 70 years of building new houses, not here they don't. Full of chills. Now, a 70-year-old house is new here. But this bridge, although it has been replaced by that one, effectively, it is obviously still in use. And there's no way anybody wants to get rid of it, because it's such a wonderful historic bridge. There are countries that are not 400 years old, but this bridge is. So you can touch this 400-year-old bridge and imagine all the people, all the kings and queens and lords and dukes and ambassadors and presidents, everybody who has walked over this bridge or been in a horse and cart over this bridge, over the... Oh, there's another train. There we go. All the people, all the feet, all the hooves that have walked over this bridge in the last 400 years. All that history, all the time that, well, before England and Scotland became one country, in fact. They were separate countries, even though there was the personal union of the king. There was Scotland was still an independent country for 100 years when this bridge was being built. Yeah, imagine that. The United Kingdom has existed for 300 years, but this bridge is 100 years older than that. Quite amazing, isn't it? Yeah, so we can see some of the town here now. Smithy's Fish and Chips, okay. There you go. There's some of the gulls and the swans. Soon to be separate countries again, maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, so I might, later on, I might go down to the pier. This is a nice pier over there. There's also the barracks that I can get into. Yeah, it's not a particularly attractive It's all seaweed basically. Not a particularly attractive shoreline, is it? But the swans like it. They're happy. There we go. Yeah. So there you go, 3 wonderful bridges. The purpose of the wider area, these bits. Well, if you have a look there, you can see these are the piers. I think the pier is the technical term. And you can see the cutwaters. I know that one. That is where the bridge splits the water, if you see what I mean. And these are sort of passing places. Salty water, yes, because, well, it's briny. It's brackish water, I think it's called, because this is the tide comes in because the North Sea is just past the chimney there. That's the North Sea, so the North Sea will flow up the river and make it salt water a lot of the time, even though it's flowing down this way from Peebles, Galashiels, Melrose, Kelso, Coldstream, through all those towns that I've shown you to get to Berwick. So I think we'll just walk a little bit further up. Little alley. Aesthetically pleasing, yes, it is indeed, or they are indeed aesthetically pleasing. So we'll walk around a little bit so we can see the old bridge from the other angle, and we'll see the other 2 bridges as well. Good afternoon. We'll walk under this bridge again, and I will finish there in a second once we can see a nice shot of the old bridge. Thank you very much. It's quite pretty, isn't it? Yeah, so let's walk in here, I think. Yeah, so there we go. 3 spectacular bridges, I think you'll agree. The oldest one, 400 years old. That one there, about 90 years old. And behind it, the Royal Bridge, Royal Berwick Bridge, at 150 years old. Your age, what, 150? Yeah. So like I say, I'll end just about there once I find a nice shot to end on with the 2 bridges anyway, and the railway bridge behind us. That's a rowing club over there, by the way. It's my pleasure, Deborah. So incidentally, the ICE is the Institute of Chartered Engineers, and they were the people who gave me that little leaflet with all the information, or they wrote it anyway. Thank you, Belfast, another fine civil engineering city, of course. Let's step out over here. Good morning, hola Mexico. Buenos dias, Maria. Screenshots. There we go. That's quite a nice shot like that, I think, isn't it? So we've got the old bridge, 400 years old, under the arch. Am I a history teacher? No, I'm not. I'm a kind of a teacher, but nothing to do with history professionally. I'm just an amateur, very much an amateur in terms of history. Yeah, so there we go. Don't forget to send me screenshots. Don't forget to follow me. Let me put up the thing for follow. You can follow me here or on Twitter at A9630. Thank you, the Netherlands. How do you pronounce that? Spielwolf? Something like that. It's a sign of another train coming past, I think. Hello, Absanthina. Welcome. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Thanks for your hearts, and your super hearts, and your comments, and your questions as ever, and your screenshots. And I will go off and find somewhere else interesting in Berwick, maybe another castle, maybe the barracks, maybe the town centre, show you something interesting. Well, fortunately you can always go and watch the replay. But yeah, people do come in late, never mind. Watch the replay. And if you have any questions about the bridges or about Berwick or about anything else, any of my previous scopes, whatever, you can always contact me on Twitter. I shall have a look at your frog scope, Ali. if it's still up, if it's still available. I know you tend to delete them, unfortunately. Right, thanks for watching. I will go off and find somewhere else interesting to scope, and I'll see you all again in a wee bit. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye bye.